So Jennifer, we understand after Gray lost his hair as a toddler, something remarkable happened. Your daughter Blaze said something to you that was sort of a pivotal moment.
Yes. One day I came home and my daughter said, she was very upset, and she said, Mommy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I forgot about the rule. And of course I said, what rule, honey? And she said, the rule that we don't talk about Gray's hair. And I sat down and I just said, oh my God, what is going on here? And I realized at that moment, I had been hiding my own shame and my own traumas. And I had a before and after in my life. And I am watching my little boy have a before with his hair and an after. And I wasn't realizing that I'm bringing my own shame into his little life.
Could you tell us what you've been hiding, what was going on?
Yes. This happened because 20 years before, when I was 22, I went to go visit a friend in New York City, and unbeknownst to me, I was followed off the subway into her apartment building, and I was stabbed 37 times with a screwdriver and left for dead. It was all over the newspapers. I remember seeing the news, and the newscaster would say, screwdriver maniac loose in New York, details at 5, and I'm looking at it thinking, oh my God, this is my life.
This is me.
And it was really, obviously, a difficult moment.
How did you turn such pain into joy now and totally sort of rebooted your system?
Well, after my attack, I started Save the Date so that I could be around other people celebrating joy. When I thought, mine's over, I'm never going to be happy again, so I might as well just help other people. With Gray, when his hair fell out, and I really had to understand that this is life now, I started to really just write down and journal my thoughts because so many things were coming back for me. I wrote a book, I wrote a memoir, I Never Promised You a Goodie Bag, because it was really helping me to get rid of all of my shame and all of my pain so that I could show up, to be in his life.
So as Gray got older, you continued to look for solutions for alopecia, and then sort of what happened?
I remember looking at him one day and I thought, I don't want to be the driver. He needs to be the driver of his own life. And I said, Gray, I'm doing this to try to get your hair back, but you are perfect and you are beautiful and I love you the way that you are. And if you want a break and you don't want to go to doctors anymore, we're done. It's up to you. And he looked at me and he said, I want a break now, Mom. I said, get the garbage. And so I took the garbage and he, was on a step ladder and he just swooped all of the potions and the tonics and the teas that made my house smell horribly, this little trooper was doing, to try to get his hair back. And I said, okay, that's the end. Anytime else, this will come from him and not from me.
Right, so it's sort of led by him because he's owning it, and I think that's amazing.
Yes, and I didn't want him to go through life saying, I was fine, it was my mother that wasn't okay with me.
And Dr. Jen, I think that's what's so important here is owning it, accepting it for what it is. I suppose you can say embracing it.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story.